What's up, my precious little pack, and welcome back to VEGA Conflict. I have Civil War clips for you, as well as a base attack against my base, and it was the attack brought up a interesting fact I think all of you would like to have a look at, or try and help push for as well. I'd also like to talk about the Alien Harvester as a campaign reward. A lot of you actually like the idea, and a few of you are saying that you will actually be willing to take on the campaign to be able to unlock the ship. So I'm going to finalize the stats. I'm going to lock in everything at certain levels as well as upgrades. I'm going to go over the complete listing. I'm going to talk about the upgrades and everything like that. Well, I won't talk about it. I'm going to post a comment in the comment section of that previous video or in this video to talk about the entire set of stats from health and everything, so everyone will be able to see it again, except for it'll also include the mark upgrades, the mark upgrade costs, the stats that are changed and things like that, as well as the in-game market that will hold them. But now on to the base part. Okay, first off, during Civil War, you earn points based on the amount of damage you do. However, this does not work in bases. If a player attacks your base, they get points, but if your base defends itself and actually does damage to the enemy, you actually do not get points. That is a mistake, and I actually believe that with the difference in power, if a base manages to beat a fleet or heavily damage it, they should be given points for that as well, because they did damage the fleet, they did health damage. Giving points for only fleet versus fleet is a mistake, but giving fleet versus base points to the baser and not to the defending base is a mistake as well. I think that should be changed so that bases that are attacked and do heavy damage to enemy fleet can actually benefit and gain points in Civil War and Alliance War when their bases can be attacked. Well, not Alliance War since the most recent change, but mainly just Civil War, because that would at least encourage people to focus on upgrading their base defense and not sabotaging their own defense. Now, this is something I did to my own base that a few people are going to realize. First off, I got rid of my miner modules because they were a liability that I wasn't going to have in the base any longer. I got rid of every single one of them. And everything else is kept within the base, and everything's kept away from the bridge, so that when stuff explodes around the bridge, it will take no damage. But I also sabotaged every single one of my storage modules, and this is something someone quickly found out. My guess is they were going to try and leave the storage modules because they were expecting armor on them. Well, I took all the armor off of them completely, and they die extremely easily and extremely quickly, and when one explodes, it will damage another one, which will then explode, and it starts a small chain reaction. This chain reaction is limited to the outer ring of the base, which is limited to turrets. And I tried to keep it as small as I could, and I would rather actually have 2 storage modules in the base instead of 10 that can hold the same amount, but that ain't gonna happen, because that would be too convenient for the players. But what I did was I changed everything around, and as the attacker found out, he wasn't going to be able to outrange the bridge. He had to fight it, and he had to fight it within the mines, within this little region of mines, so if he strafed too far in any direction, he would hit one. So carefully paying attention to where he was going was necessary. But it got more hilarious because what I watched, and what all of you will see, it'll most likely be the first or the last video displayed the base defense. What I saw was the base quickly exploding, doing exactly what I wanted it to do. I didn't want anybody to be able to exploit the firing of the projectile weapons where they sit just on the edge of the range, so it's just barely in it but doesn't count as being in it, and it goes over it and hits everything behind it. So I rigged my own base so that everything in it will essentially explode, with the exception of the combat modules, hangar modules, the bridge, the fleet base, well, the basic stuff that you understand. But it was brought to my attention that currently bases are underpowered, and yes, they've been underpowered forever. We've complained about it forever, and nothing's been done about it. We've just recently gotten armor and stuff like that for them. It's not enough. We needed it a long time ago, and the fact we're not getting Altarian armor for our bases when Altarians are the threat, that's a bit of a slap to the face, but we deal with what we have to. Now, The point of that and all of this was to point out that, again, during Civil War, a base that successfully defends itself and does damage to the enemy fleet should be given points for that player that owns that base. Well, the Outpost. What do all of you think on that? Do you think that that should be in the game, and that fleet versus fleet shouldn't be the only way, so that people who base you, you actually get points from them as well? Because then it would also encourage them to not use a higher level fleet than your base and try and go to the max level they can, because if they get damaged heavily, they're going to be giving you more points than what they get for your base. But go ahead and let me know what all you think about that. I'm going to go ahead and after this, I'm going to finalize all the stats. I'm going to post that comment, and that's going to be it, everybody. Enjoy the PvP clips. If you do, feel free to leave a like, comment your favorite moments, or if you have any ideas or anything you'd like to hear, or if you actually have any concerns for the Harvester stats that may have been incorrect or that may need to be changed to favor the players or to favor coin ability to be more credible to Kixeye as an idea that could earn them money. But without further ado, enjoy the clips, and as always everybody, I'll see you later.